Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where I just finished warping forward the 48 days that we needed to get this guy into place here. We're thrust limited down to 3% thrust, and we're just going to put this guy into an equatorial circularized orbit here, and that'll be absolutely fine. We've got about 30 seconds until this burn. Make that 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. This is such a Minmus. Oh, right. We're reversed. We're reversed. We need to go to normal minus. Luckily, this is such a big orbit. Being off by a few seconds doesn't actually matter. So I just need to remember that these are reversed, which is very awkward, but it'll be fine. So we'll get positioned over here, and there we go. Much better. Cool. I wish there was an anti-node option here. That would be nice, but alas, there's not. So I'm just going to continue to burn here for the moment, and now we can see that we are in escape velocity, so we just need to head actually to prograde. This is so weird, but we'll head over to prograde and just bring that in ever so gently, and we're just keeping an eye on our ascending node once we get that done. Really? 0.3 degrees? Okay, that's sad. That's very sad. I'm going to call this good enough. Perfect. The other Duna relay, of course, that's got more work to do. So we're going to switch over to that. Okay, can we invert this? Control point reversed. I don't think that actually does what I want it to do, though. Maybe. Let's park over at the node, and we're going to have to warp forward a little further. I'm pretty sure this is going to put us in the wrong direction, even with it being reversed. I don't think that actually does what I want it to do. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure of that. Okay. Is there an option in MechJeb to change that? I don't think so. Well, there might be somewhere. I have no idea where. There's a lot of options here. So for now, yes, we can see that this is indeed opposite of the direction we need to be. So let's see here. These are the reference and the direction. That doesn't, I think, do what we want it to do either. No. Wait, execute. So, direction back? We could force a roll. I don't care. So, is this just going to go to the exact inverse of that position? I think that's what it's doing. Okay, let's advance forward here. And we're just going to move back into position here. We're going to have to try this again. I'm pretty sure that's what it was doing. We'll turn off the force roll. I don't care about the roll. And we'll get into the node position here. And then we'll set our direction to back. And we can see that we're like halfway between these two nodes. Execute that. And where does that put us? Basically at prograde. 90 degrees. Okay. Well, we need to go a little further here. We need to go to like 135 degrees here. Just go into kill rot, please. We need to go like here. Okay. That's a little bit much. And we can see that we are not quite where we need to be. So let's go into orbital prograde, since we want to do a slight retrograde burn here. And bring that guy right on in. There we go. And now we'll need to go one of the normals, and I'm not sure which. Probably not this one. I think it'll be this one. Okay. So, I want to check in here what our inclination is. That's going down? Okay, So we'll flip it right on around. And we're just targeting hitting 90 degrees here. So that's 89. Okay, I slightly overshot that. We're going to get rid of this maneuver node. It's not really relevant. Okay. 90 degrees. Beautiful. Now we should burn, believe it or not, retrograde. Retrograde is a weird way to be burning right now, but it's because of the reversal, right? So we're just going to burn retrograde here and push this guy right on out. Okay, that's basically at escape velocity then. Good to know. So just barely bringing it in like that. Okay, now I want to go to the periapsis and burn prograde there. Nope, we don't need any prograde there. At the apoapsis, we are going to need some prograde. Yeah, that circularizes us nicely. About like that. Beautiful. But that's actually going to be a retrograde burn. So we actually want to be on prograde here. It's such a weird situation that we've got going on. And we're going to warp this right on around. I also want to cancel our time warp quick and thrust limit this down to like 5% thrust. That's much better. Okay, let's warp this right on around. And yeah, our combined Duna lander is just kind of chilling right now. That is absolutely fine. We're just going to get our setup done here. And yeah, this is looking very, very good as far as our lander relay goes. This is definitely close enough. We want to be on retrograde at this point, actually. So we're going to warp around to retrograde. There we go. And we're going to commence our retrograde burn in order to go prograde here shortly. Yeah, it's very awkward that I have these flipped around, but it's fine. 3, 2, 1, and mark. Cool. So pushing this guy right on out, and we know basically where we need to be and no further. Absolutely no further. Looking good. This is good enough, but I'm going to keep taking it a little further forward. That'll do. Okay, so that puts us in a very, very solid communications orbit. I love it. Now we're going to not set as target. We're going to switch to the combined Duna lander. Can I clear that target? There we go. I want to switch to the combined Duna lander. We are now done with the ComSat portion of our mission. There are no additional communication satellites to be done. So at this moment, we need to start a rendezvous with Ike. So we know that we're not perfectly circularized here, right? There's no doubt about that. If we were to... Well, we should probably do this inclination change. Realistically. So that is going to be in 50 days, and we need to change by 1.9 degrees. Not like that's very much. 0.6. And we can toss in some retrograde and look to, like, encapsulate some of this. We can see that we are pretty far off in terms of our inclination with the retrograde thrown in. I'm not surprised about that. What would an encounter look like here? Like, would we have the timing for that? Actually, kind of almost. But also not really. But what if we were to change... No, don't do normal at this moment. What if we were to change some of this? Hello. That looks like a decent encounter. Oh, that's a really nice encounter. It's not perfectly equatorial, but it doesn't have to be. That is a beautiful encounter. I love it. We're going to do exactly that one. Are we thrust limited? We've got this nuclear engine. You know... We don't have docking ports. I was thinking we're probably going to have leftover fuel here. Well, we're going to be burning off a decent amount of this fuel, but this is definitely overkill on the fuel front. I think that's very, very clear. And we can physics warp our turn over here while we're thinking about this. What I was thinking about doing was leaving this in orbit and re-rendezvousing with it, but I don't think we can actually do that. We don't have the equipment for it. We do have all of this in space high over Duna's lowland stuff, but that's all currently gathered. So for the time being, we're just going to warp on forward here. And yeah, there's a lot of this going on. Can you not make that noise? Thank you. Perfect. So we're just going to get into position for this burn. That's going to be about a 37-second burn. Really not too bad. And that burn will be happening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay. Looks good. So we're definitely going to have some extra fuel here. There's no doubt about that. We can't move the fuel upwards. I don't think we can really store the fuel in any meaningful way. I think we're just going to have to land with it, and, I mean, maybe we can find a way to transfer it? Possibly. Okay, let's just bring that guy right on in. Do we want to be a little closer than this? Closer is fine. Bringing it down to somewhere around 30 kilometers. 15 is actually probably fine. This should be good. We're going to hop in over here. This is okay. We're going to grab a maneuver here. Bring that guy right on down. Cool. And circularize at about 15 kilometers. If I can actually grab this. There we go. Sure. This'll do. So 15 kilometers, 15 kilometers. That should be reasonably safe, I think. It's going to be 124 meters per second. Yeah, we've got a lot of excess fuel here. So how do we want to handle that? That's an interesting question, to be sure. We're heading over to the node right now, and let's just warp on in. It's going to be a 1 and 20-second burn. I wonder what the thrust to weight on this would be on Ike. It's going to be very, very awkward if we're able to land this whole thing on Ike. Surely we wouldn't. Surely that's not allowed. How are we doing on our science processing? Oh, our science is full. Hang on. Let's stop that warp. We definitely need to transmit our science. Starting transmission. And science added. Beautiful. We can also store additional data. We're going to hold off on that for now. And let's continue to warp here. And we can see that science building back up as we continue to process the data that we've gotten. Cool. So that's a good chunk of science that we've gotten back already. I like it. And we're already almost 10% done with that science again. Over 10% now. And here we come. Actually, it's going to be... Okay, here we come. Let's cancel our auto warp at this moment. So, we're in space high here. We're going to grab a crew report and process that in the lab. I'm going to have Milbro EVA and grab an EVA report. We'll keep that. And then we're going to process that in the lab as well. What are we at for data? 517, so we can store like 250 more. We'll process a temperature scan, atmospheric pressure scan, a mystery goo observation, and a gravity scan. That's now full of data. Okay, so we'll grab our material study and a magnetometer report. We'll need to reset these. Yes, we can't analyze that. I'm actually aware. So we'll keep that data for now, and we're going to collect the data in our service bay. Where's our data collection unit? Here he is. So we're going to collect all of that data there. That's all well and good. Now we're going to have Milbro EVA. And Milbro, you can let go for... Ooh, that was a little explosive. You can let go for now, and we're going to head off over this direction. We're going to... Actually, we never extended this antenna. We have plenty of other antennas, but we're going to want that eventually. So let's get into position over here. And we'll restore this Science Junior. And then we're going to come down over here. Not that way. Okay. Please don't crash into the Gigantor. That would be a problem. We're going to open this. It's over on the other side. Awkward. Okay. Other direction. I'm now so used to everything being inverted. Exciting. Okay. Reset this. There you go. Now get out of there. And we're going to have to head back and in over this way. Cool. So we'll grab on. And hop in. Okay, so all that's good to go. Now we've got in space near. So we can grab all of this data again. So we're going to grab everything we've got here. We're going to have Milbro EVA again. Here in a moment. Anytime now, magnetometer report. There we go. So we're going to collect our data again. Milbro can EVA. Grab that EVA report. And then we're going to need to do this once more. So we're just going to hop over this direction. I hope that we can reach it. Oh, we could almost reach it there. Restore the Mystery Goo unit. Cool. And away from the Gigantor. Thank you very much. Restore the Science Junior. And back we head. Nice. In we go. We'll collect the data for that EVA report. And then that'll be good for now. I'm not working on gathering all of the data here, but that'll do. We're going to head over to the node here. Our burn is going to be in about 3 minutes still. So we're going to position on the node. But there's all of that data that we needed. Excellent. And yeah, there's additional data that we can gather, but for the moment, I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. Throttling up, slightly late, but it should be fine. Cool. So we're going to enter orbit here. We've got lots and lots and lots of fuel left, to be honest. I wish we had a better way to store it. What is our thrust to weight here? 1.43. Actually, we could land this. But we shouldn't. But we could. We certainly could. It's an interesting option. But we shouldn't. This was not the plan. So we're going to continue to decelerate here. Bringing this guy right on down. We can see we're past our apoapsis as it is. Cool. You know, really, if this was docked rather than a decoupler here, we probably could bring them home. Probably could. But for now, this is fine. So just bringing this guy right on around here. As we enter orbit over Ike. This is good enough. Okay, so that'll do. That's a exciting eclipse going on there. We're going to grab this gravity scan since we can do that. And we are, of course, going to store this guy. We could grab an EVA report, too. There we go. And we'll collect all that data. I'm not going to go out of our way to collect all of this. It'll be fine. At this point, I want to go to horizontal velocity minus. And we want to pick a landing site that is going to be probably on the day side here, considering we're solar powered. So I think that we want to likely warp around to here or so. Cool. So we're going to head around, and we will continue heading to surface velocity minus. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about this. We're going to get such a crazy amount of science from this anyway that it's not all that relevant. So this is completely okay. Horizontal velocity minus, thank you very much. And let's get into position for that. We'll start our braking burn here, and we are going to burn off some of this fuel. But we have too much fuel here, and unfortunately, no real way to rescue the fuel. I really wish we did have a way to do it. If that was docked, but it's not, it's decoupler. Sad. Well, shall we commence our landing burn? Where do we want to land? Maybe up over here? I mean, we're moving pretty quickly. We should probably commence our burn now, since we have relatively low thrust to weight. This is definitely coming down a little faster than I thought it would. Okay, let's go to surface velocity minus as of right now. And let's just coast a bit. I definitely don't want to come down over this mountain range. I think that would be bad. We could grab a gravity scan and an EVA report as long as we're waiting. What do you mean EVA unavailable? Oh, it's because we're warping. There we go. But I'm a little late. It's fine. It's fine. We're going to continue to warp a bit here. 3 minutes? Okay. Just checking where we are. So this would be like our target landing site in theory. We've got more than enough Delta V to try multiple landing sites. No doubt about that. Yeah, it's an awkward amount of fuel that I don't want to leave behind. Very much so. At the same time, I don't think we can stably land this. So, let's go ahead and commence this burn here. Let's bring this straight on down a bit. And we can see we're going to land in Midlands right now, but we're probably going to overshoot this ever so slightly. Is what's likely going to happen here. I'm going into surface mode here. We're keeping an eye on that horizontal speed, but we're at we're at horizontal velocity minus. I want to be at surface velocity minus here. Cool. And obviously this, we're burning really early, right? We know this. We know this. We're not going for the most efficient burn. We've got lots and lots of fuel here. More than enough. I definitely thought that we would burn out these tanks, like, on the way to Ike. And that we'd be landing on this and we'd just dispose of that. But no. Okay. Seems good. Does it feel like we're moving really fast for how close we are to impact? Impact time in 30 seconds. Hang on. This is very, very wrong. Okay. We're going to need some higher thrust to weight here. Okay. This guy's still burning is very awkward, but it's fine. Cool. So we're going to extend these landing legs. It definitely felt like we were a lot further up than that, but this is fine. So landing legs extending. We can see our landing position there. Okay. I'm going to go to horizontal velocity minus here. Actually, this is still on surface velocity minus. I guess that's okay. Let's bring this up this embankment a bit. And do something kind of like that. There we go. That is our horizontal speed basically gone, and now this number should be a little bit more accurate. I'm not sure why this is flickering in and out of existence, but whatever. And we'll get our landing done. Of course, we're going to refuel once we get down here. This is no big deal that we're burning this fuel. This is completely fine. I don't like losing all that nuclear fuel, but we were definitely... we did have enough thrust to weight, but I was burning too late for the thrust to weight there. So we're going to keep an eye on this. That should be reasonably fine. About in 6 seconds. I'm going to burn it now. I always get twitchy about this. Okay. As expected, it was a little too early, but that's fine. We're just going to gently lower ourselves on down here. Moving at about 6 meters per second right now. I'm going to slow down our deceleration a bit. And this looks good. We're just parked on surface velocity minus here, and MechJeb does so much better of a job at holding this than the SAS surface negative would. It's insane how much better of a job MechJeb does at it. Look at how stable that landing is. Beautiful. And here we are. We're going to switch over to Killrot. And, of course, we're landed now. So we're going to get some data here. How are we doing on our data there? We've got 65? Okay. So we need to extend our drills. We need to extend our radiators. We'll get these radiators extended on out. And deploy this drill as well. We will start our surface harvesting. As soon as this guy gets deployed. Still apparently moving. There we go. And we'll start our liquid fuel and oxidizer ISRU. Cool. So we are starting to slowly refill these tanks. Beautiful. And of course, we will get out of here as soon as that's ready to go. But we should probably plant a flag here and do our deployable science. And we're also... Where's our deployable science at these days? Here. Right. That is all something that we can do next episode, and then we can head over to Duna, which is where? I don't know if Duna is visible right now. No, we're on the far side. Okay, so we'll head off to Duna after getting our deployable science done in the next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.